Daytime with Aston Avery. Stephen Smith's with me. Joining us right now is the Empress of Clean and Essex House Dolly, and that's Nicki Rodriguez who joins us right now. So, hello, Nicki.
Good morning, Aston. Morning, Stephen.
Morning. Are you looking fantastic? Are you
Morning.
having a holiday in San Francisco? Are you?
Could you tell?
Oh my goodness, I love a bit of it. Well, apparently it's really bad in San Francisco at the moment with all the poverty. There's more homeless people per square yard there than there is anywhere else in the world at the moment. I've been hearing some terrible things about it.
Well, it's great that we're talking about money here, Stephen, on that
Yeah.
as well, because Nicki, you're using your talents to raise money this month. So, can you tell us a bit more about this?
Yes. In 2021, I ended a very, very toxic, awful relationship that I was in. And had it not have been for my son's dad, we would have ended up in a refuge. And because we had to sort of leave literally that day, it was quite a traumatic thing that we went through. And obviously, after I was able to find somewhere else to live after a couple of months, I did a lot of therapy about domestic abuse and narcissism and things.
Yeah.
And refuge is something that means quite a lot to me. So this month, Refuge are actually doing a fundraising event where you've got to walk 60 miles and just get people to sponsor you, whether it's how many steps, how many miles. And so far, I've raised £230 in the last 16 days. So I'm really pleased. And that is going to go towards a woman and her children staying in a refuge because it's around £15 a night to stay in a refuge with
And
children.
also, Nikki, men as well. We're going to be fair here. Men also suffer and have to leave
Yes.
home because of abusive women. There's also this idea of it's just women that happens to.
Yes.
As we know, it is not quite always the case. It's a really interesting point you brought up there about the trauma that's left
Yes.
after going through something like that and the therapy that's actually needed.
Oh, I'm nearly 2 years on now, and I'm still very damaged by that person. And it's sort of given me a lot of motivation to stay on my own now, which I've done since I ended the relationship. And I sort of use my Essex Dolly skills to help women that have also been in those relationships, having to start their lives again, how to motivate them, how to make their house a home, and also to sort of mentor them to either open up their own business or earn their own money. And also I have helped a couple of guys as well that have had women do this to them.
Yeah.
And it's something
Or the
that
LGBT community are rife with narcissism, and there's many people that have been abused within gay relationships as well. So I mean,
massively, yeah.
It's quite. And unfortunately, we could do a whole show on this subject, couldn't we?
Yes,
we all know lots of
time.
people that have suffered, and also and the other thing that's important to point out is narcissists are often suffering themselves.
Yes.
The victims they choose. I mean, there's a huge topic, but unfortunately, we can't talk about it all day. So what I'm going to ask you is what you specialise in, which is cleaning, and it's that time of year when I want to open all my windows. Nicki, I want to open all my windows and be in Saint Tropez, but even in Saint Tropez, the bugs come flying in. I mean, my God, I feel as I'm holding a house party for them. And within 10 minutes, I mean, honestly, the ugly bunk ball isn't quite the question. It's going on here in my flat. What can I do to stop it?
There's two really, really simple things that you can do to deter. It's mainly flies. That is the problem. It's the flies and the wasps. And I've come up with two separate hacks, which don't include chemicals. Obviously, in this hot weather, you shouldn't be using chemicals because they're going to react quicker, and it's the smell as well with the heat. So I suggest using peppermint and lemongrass oil, not together, but separately on like a tea towel. Hang it over your door or hang it by a window. And not only does it make your house smell nice, it also deters flies, wasps, because they hate those smells. Another two options that you can use is putting mint or fresh orange peel on a windowsill, because flies absolutely hate citrusy smells. So those two things are, I think, the best way of not letting them in your house. You can also buy on Amazon those I call them Hawaiian skirts on a door. You know, those things where they flip like that and you hang them over on a door, and that stops the flies easily being able to just gum in and out of your house.
I've got a diffuser. Is that any good?
Yes, because you can put, Stephen, essential oils like peppermint oil, lemongrass oil, mint oil, orange oil in that, and that will help deter them as well. That's a really, really good way to do it.
That's what I'm going to. That is what I'm going to do. Thanks ever so much for that, because it's just ridiculous, and I have a thing about them. I mean, I can't sit still if I see one in the house.
And staying on that theme of summer here, which Stephen has rightly pointed out as well. So obviously, Mum's talking oven ready for summer parties, etc. here. So for our listeners who want to make sure that their oven is ready for summer parties, what is the best way to clean their oven, would you say?
I've got 3 methods. Number 1 is hire a professional. Much easier. They come in, they do it all. It's normally about £75. So that would be my first one, especially if you've got a massive oven that is absolutely filthy, is to do that. Second one is if you don't want to use chemicals, if you've got small children or you've got allergies to certain things, you can use things like white vinegar, bicarbonate of soda, dishwasher tablets where you crumble them up and then you scrub them in using an abrasive or a cloth. Or the one that I prefer to do is the Oven Bright, because it's sort of £5 for the box. You put everything in the box, and so everything in the packet with the liquid, leave it overnight, put some bits in the oven, leave that overnight. Next day, it's all gone.
There's 2 days to clean the oven, really.
Yes, with the Oven
I
Bright.
still will starve to death.
There you go. Start that.
People forget it is. You know, people think the cleaning lady comes and she does the oven, but it's a whole skill, isn't it? It's a whole.
Oh God, yeah. When people say to me sometimes, if I've done a decluttering and a reorganised job in a kitchen, and the client has said to me, "Oh, you couldn't while you're here just quickly clean my oven." I'm like, "No, you know they say Rome weren't built in a day. It takes 2 days to do your oven properly." So but personally, I hire a professional person to come and do mine, even though mine is immaculate. It's still a job that you just, I'm not a great lover of ovens.
So here's my big thing of the summer. I hate barbecues. I mean, I know it's awful because I don't eat pork or red meat. And whenever someone invites me, particularly in Essex, they say, come on down. And don't worry, we're going to put on a bit of salmon for you.
That's it, have a bit of chicken.
And then I look over and it's right next to the big juicy steak, fucking blood onto my salmon. And I mean, would it be rude in Essex to bring my own food?
No, because I think we're so thick-skinned. I think people are more interested if you bring a bottle of booze with you rather than can you bring your own food. I think Essex people see barbecues more as a good jolly up rather than what you're going to eat.
Oh, okay, so I really don't have to worry about, because I'm going to Aston's do as a superhero, and I'm just concerned I'm going to end up, because he hasn't gone vegan like he promised, that I'm not going to, but I'm not, also worries me. They also look so dirty, these barbecues. Are they easy to clean, or they're self-cleaning?
It depends on what you class as cleaning a barbecue. I mean, most people just use the gristle brush, give it a bit of a brush over, and that's it. Where for me, I have to take the whole thing apart. And I, funny enough, did do a barbecue clean about 3 weeks ago, and it took me 5 hours. And I basically just used fairy liquid, so there was no chemical in case you don't wash it all off properly, because it is hard sometimes with, especially the big built gas barbecues. You don't want to get water everywhere. And that took me quite a while, but it come up lovely. But I had to use mold remover where it hadn't been done since last summer. So it was mold remover, fairy liquid. I went through 3 scrub daddies, 2 pairs of rubber gloves, and quite a few microfiber cloths, and I was covered. I looked like I've been doing a chimney where I was just covered.
Did you have your nails that long?
Yeah, well, cool. That's why I wear my gloves, because I'm not getting rid of these. Oh, yeah, that's why I kept going through the gloves. I kept piercing through the ends of the fingers.
Ashton, are you
But,
doing a barbecue for your superhero things? What food do you do?
I'm not sure about that yet. Obviously, who knows for that
Right.
one. But that
I've
being,
got Nando's telephone number.
yeah, I can see why you said that. But that also right now, Nikki, as well. Obviously, a lot of it's that time of year when people start, like listeners and everyone, start to get what they call their linen shirts out in like white linen shirts, and all the white.
Yes.
They cannot afford to take them to the cleaners. So, what is the best way to do what they call a whitewash here for like whites?
Well, first of all, make sure everything you've got is white, so there's no other colours that have mixed in.
Yeah.
You can either, depending if it's really stained, you treat it before you then put it in the machine for a wash. So the important thing is, if it's really bad stains, you would then put like an anti-oxy product on it. So Vanish do them, the pink stuff do them. And you would blot it on there. You don't rub it, so you'd blot it on. Or sometimes you can just put neat bleach on something that's purely white, because then it's not going to fade any of the other colours. Leave it to soak and then just put it into a normal wash, 40 degrees, with all your detergent, your fabric bits and pieces, and it should come out fine. I normally put bicarb of soda in my white washes just as a standard wash, because that's really good as well for getting any marks and things off.
Oh, just a quick question, because it's quite expensive, these anti-white things. What's the cheapest one? Because I mean, some of the ones are like 7-8 quid.
Oh God, yeah. I'm a lover of home bargains, and I buy the really big pots of the pink stuff anti-oxy remover. It's like £5, and you get a massive pot of it as well.
And that's just as good as the ones, the more expensive
Yeah.
ones.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Oh, well, that's what I'm going to do then, because I've got my whitewash to do, funny enough, as well. That's good. Well, listen, the other thing is, when I give parties, I love to give a summer party, but I try to ban red wine or red drinks. Because
Yes.
someone always falls, and I've got red wine on the sofa, and then I've got quite a light sofa and a white. I mean, how do you get that out?
The key is to try and clear it up straight away. So, but again, you don't rub it, you have to blot it with kitchen roll or a tea towel. I tend to use white vinegar, and then I'd go in with mixing the Vanish or the pink stuff, what you'd use in a whitewash, to get it off. But the quicker that you try and remove it, the better.
I mean, it's a pain. I mean, it is a pain. I always say, please do not bring red wine. There's always someone that goes, "Oh, don't worry about me. I just bought a little bottle for me." I can't tell you the number of times that there's a little fall, or somebody else falls into it. That's really useful.
Yes.
As I say, red wine's for outdoors, I think, rather than unless you've got white furniture outside, which could just be just.
Or Stephen, just get yourself some other friends.
Yeah, just go. If you bring red wine, don't come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also that time of year, Nikki, as well, that some of us go on holiday, as they call that as well. But is there any essentials that you take on holiday to keep clean and tidy on the plane, but also out and about at the same time?
Yes, for actually going away, I'm really into the packing cubes. They're selling them now. The cheapest place I've found them is Primark. They're about £2 in there. So they look like a sort of a netting, but they're actual cubes, storage cubes.
Yeah.
So you can pack underwear in some, socks, swimwear. So it helps to keep your suitcase very organised and tidy, so you know where everything is. I also would put in a suitcase a bin liner, which I use for laundry. So as you're going through your holiday, you put your dirty stuff in the bin liner, and then at the end of the holiday, it's all sealed in the bag for you to just chuck in your suitcase and come home. And that's also good as well for putting swimming trunks, swimming bikinis. If you've got sand in them, it stops it getting in your suitcase. For the actual plane, I always use like a very small bag with a lot of pockets. I use plastic freezer bags that you can put in if you've got travel bottles with perfume or moisturizer in for the plane. That's a really good idea. Also, having a smaller bag means you're not taking absolutely everything. So I just stick to sunglasses for when you get off the plane, your passport, headache tablets, eye mask, and also a little pot of moisturizer while you're on the flight, because it does tend to dry out your skin.
I know I've been using. I always take on the flight with me Elizabeth Arden cream because my skin is really dry. But now I've discovered this new product called Dr. Pawpaw. It is just as well. I can't say it's very good. It's much less per price than Elizabeth Arden, and I've really. Dr. Pawpaw. They have it in Sainsbury's. They have it in. They have it all over. In fact, I'm going to have the lady that makes it on the show at some point. But it's really good. But I always find you get so dry on a flight. Even your nails and your cuticles get dry on a flight. And if you have this Dr. Pawpaw with you, which is the right size as well to bring in, you can just rub a bit in, and it's not as expensive as some of the more other brands. So, what are you up to this summer yourself, Nicki?
This summer I'm slowing down work-wise because obviously it's a 6 weeks holiday and Harry's off school. So I tend to only work 2 days a week when he's off school, and then the other 3 days we're out and about doing things. So we've got a week away at the end of August, just me and Harry, which will be really, really nice. At the moment, we're struggling a little bit because he's got a really bad hay fever allergy. So he's actually upstairs in bed at the moment, where he's really, really struggling. Yeah. So it depends on how high the pollen count is. Even though he has medication, he's got it so bad that we can't go outside. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be as bad in the 6 weeks because there's so much.
There's nothing they can give them for the
yes, yeah. He has daily steroids, and he also has a special nasal spray, throat spray, wipes. I always have a fan in his room. All the windows are shut, but it's just, really, it's really, really severe. Harry is that he hasn't been able to even go to school today. So the 6 weeks will be a lot of fun. Hopefully, if the pollen's not so bad.
Oh, I hope so too. Well, listen, Nicki, I'm really proud of what you're doing for Refuge. It's brilliant. We're going to put on the YouTube video when it goes out how to sponsor you. But if you'd just like to tell us as well, that'd be great.
Yes, to sponsor me, you can either go via my Instagram or TikTok, Essex House Dolly, and there's a link on there that I'm posting up pretty much every day now that you just click on, and then you can pay. Even £1 helps towards either a child's school uniform, food, for them to stay in the refuge, any resources where a lot of men and women, they're controlled by finances.
Yeah.
So if their partners cut their account off, they've literally got no money. So I'm and after I've done this fundraiser, I'm hoping to do another big project later on in the year with Refuge as well.
Well, you put on one of your balls. They're so good. You do one for Refuge, it'd be brilliant.
Oh.
Yeah, we do need another Essex ball, don't we?
So I have to say, Nicki, obviously it's a pleasure to have you on Gateway 97.8 to join Stephen and I today. Thank you for joining Stephen and I on Gateway 97.8.
Oh, thank you both for having me.
We love you. Bye.
You too. Bye.